What up? What up?
What's up, y'all? What's up, Bolt fam? It's the
Bolt
Bolt
fam.
Bros. Yeah.
So,
You know,
James is still out in Santorini. We are extremely jealous that he's there, but
oh
but
yeah,
we're seeing some
totally.
really great pictures, and he wishes he could be here with us, but obviously time, not going to work out to jump on this live. But
Yep.
we are here. We want to discuss the 53-man roster, and want your help in predicting what the 53-man roster will be, because we've read a lot of articles about it, and Kyle and I were just discussing off camera, what we think and what we'd like to see happen. But yeah, I think this would be fun. I think we'll do like a live discussion on who we think the 53-man roster will be. So we'll throw in some obvious ones for sure.
Yep.
But we want your help in determining the rest of the team and how deep it's going to go. Before we go through that, though, I wanted to talk a little bit about the specific changes of the roster moves as far as the practice squad, right? Because I think that's a really interesting discussion. How many people we can have on the practice squad now has changed quite a bit. And I think the rules are really interesting. So last year it was 14 people you can have on your practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Changing this year, you can have 16 people on the practice squad.
Right. Oh, that's pretty awesome. And I think they actually increased that from the years prior too, because the 2020 they had it increase as well because of COVID rules and stuff. So
Yep. And also injured people, illnesses, right? Obviously COVID, that's a really interesting thing to discuss as well too. So I'm just going to read this off to you guys just to give you kind of an idea of where it sits, because again, when we're building out this 53-man roster, it'll be really interesting to see how many people actually make the squad.
Right.
But also we got the practice squad, which is going to be more people that we can bring on. But there's rules about bringing people off the practice squad onto the normal team, and injured, illness, these are all different rules, right? So it's kind of interesting to see how that's played out. So, okay. So a couple things, right? Now there are 16 players from 14, which is what was last year. Teams can now elevate individual players from practice squad to game day roster a maximum of three times per season rather than 2. So it was 2 last year. Now it's 3 times this season. So there's a lot of moving people in and out that you can do during the season, which was previously the max. So what's the other thing too? There was really something interesting about this too. In addition to alteration of injured reserve protocols, which is interesting because if you put someone on the IR, it's a little bit different. Teams now have 8 players permitted to return from IR and or reserve non-football injury illness list to the 53 active man roster or the practice squad per season. So you can hide a lot of players, guys. And keep them around and not be scooped up. Now, so it's interesting to know. So let's just say 16. We'll just leave it at 16 for simplicity's sake. I think we want to do a video on that. Obviously, we want to do a video on whatever the practice squad looks like. I think a lot of folks like Bandy probably will be on that squad. I do not think he'll make the 53-man roster.
Yeah.
But it's good to know that he's going to be on our squad and we can bring him up if we need to. And again, right, injuries are a big thing, right? It's part of the game, and we'll go from there. Also, I will say this. I read an article that I do think J.C. Jackson may be back here in time for the Raiders game week 1. So there is a possibility he comes back. Again, it's not a horrible injury. It's not even really an injury. It's just
not even really
removing that bone. Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of interesting thing. So
it's
what are your thoughts there, Kyle?
Comfort thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure out if Bandy actually might be in there, because I don't know. I think he might be able to get into it. So because there is another article that I'm going to share with you in the thread right now.
Absolutely.
Maybe you didn't see, and that was the anatomy of the 53-man roster, in the NFL, and it kind of shows like who or how many positions are typically put in to it's obviously it's just a kind of a general rule, rather than actually being a set hard and fast kind of idea.
Correct.
But it's very possible. I think Betty might be able to make the list because of this format that people like to put for their teams these days.
Yeah, well, and remember, Mike Bandy has a lot of dual value, right? Because he does play special teams. He's done fairly well. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Now, I will say this, a lot of people keep talking. Everything I see is usually they run with 2 quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously what will probably have happen is, and this is one thing that really makes me sad, by the way. See, we should probably start with the quarterback conversation at some point, but
yeah,
I really wanted Easton Stick to get that quarterback 2 position.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, I really think he lost it. I just don't think he.
Yeah.
I was so frustrated. I was like, "You got to be kidding me, man!"
It was his job to lose, though. Really, I mean,
yeah.
But in a lot of ways, though, too, is that like, yes, I would like him to be the QB2, but I mean, Chase Daniels has so much more experience, and he actually is a better ear for Justin Herbert out there on the field to like kind of give him little pointers here and there or something like that, though. So like, and that's you can't knock against experience like that.
Yep. Yeah. So, and then offensive linemen, you have 9 suited up. That makes sense. I like that, tight ends. And it also depends on the type of defense we run.
True.
It's interesting because I'm looking at this, a defensive lineman, they have 9 defensive linemen on there. We have 3. I'm thinking 5 is probably all those suit up week 1. You never really know, though. But again, in this article, too, it's also stating that this is a 4-3 base defense, which is not what we run. We run a 3-4 base defense typically, right? So it would be 7 or 8 players on a 3-4 defense, which is really what we run more than a 4-3. So I think 7 probably makes more sense in that situation. But no, it's interesting. I think this is great. So again, guys, we want you to help us build out the actual 53-man roster that we're going to go with or predict. Right?
Yeah.
We want to do it live. We want to do it live and have some conversations with you guys. So definitely put some thoughts out there as well. And we'll go from there. So
and we did just to let everyone know too, is that we did shoot out a little message to some of the other podcast people. They might at some point we might actually get a few people here drop in or something just for the heck of it. And if they do, then we'll bring them in for that position at that moment, and then that'll be it. Just have a pop in,
Well, yeah, and I don't know if did anybody on the thread see our fantasy draft that we did yesterday as well too? Let us know down below if you did. Yeah. But we play the director week 1. I'm pretty excited about that. That'll be pretty cool.
That'll be good. And looking at the draft analysis, like he and his team and our team is actually pretty much stacked pretty fairly well against each other. So
nice.
So he did really well on his draft, and I think we did pretty well on our draft as well. So
Kyle, can you throw up his team and our team? Is there any way you can do that right now?
Yeah, give me a second here. Let me.
Yeah, because that would be kind of cool to see, and we could discuss that week 1 while people are piling in here as well too. Because I think it would be kind of cool to see, because our team is exciting. I mean, I'm looking at it right now. I think our team looks pretty good.
There you go. So
we got our report card.
Yeah, this is our report card here.
We the Bull Bros. We love our fantasy football, and I'm probably going to have. I've been invited to so many fantasy leagues, so I'm pretty excited about it. DJ Moore, I'm pretty hyped. The concern I have with our team is Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. They've had some injury issues, right? So that's kind of one of the things that really stresses me out about that. But the director. Sure. Interesting. Look at that. So we actually got the highest draft grade. Look at that.
No. Chargers Unleashed got the highest.
They did. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, it says A- on that one.
Oh shoot, you're right. Actually, wait.
Yeah. So maybe it got adjusted. But hey, guys,
that's interesting. Well, because it says best draft is awarded to the team with the most projected season points. Oh, see, and that's what it is for him. So.
Oh, got it. Okay.
They're still projected to get the most projected season points, even though their draft was not as good as ours. That's interesting to me. Huh.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Well, that's
cool.
We'll so
but you know what? I mean, that's just the truth though too. It's like, I mean, a draft in a 16-man thing, it's even fantasy in general, it's just it's a crapshoot,
It is. I mean, it is.
Well,
injuries are huge.
Yeah, and any one of these players could go down and get hurt and just ruin any season, So
yeah. But I'm very happy with it. I think you did, we did really well. Well, actually, really, you did well because I couldn't even actually select anything, right?
Yeah,
So
that was a bit of a problem at the beginning. I was like, well, I mean, it was kind of wild because I was stuck at a party,
yeah,
and I was like, oh shoot, traffic was going to be a nightmare for me to get home.
yeah, from LA, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's not going to work out. I just kind of, but fortunately, the host of the party was actually really nice and set me up in there. Actually, it was actually pretty interesting. They set me up in what they called the green room, and it was like they had like one of those golf driving simulation
yeah, the
rooms there,
simulators, yeah.
and they had like their laptop right there, and it was set up on this whole big old wall, and I was able to look at this huge wall. I had an actual war room for the situation because like I had like a 100-inch screen that I was able to see everything that was going on, and it was pretty wild. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think either way, that was so fun. And it's fun. And guys, again, this is a big reason why we even started doing this whole podcast in general, right? Is we just want to, engage with the community, right? And this is exactly what we want, right? So I'm excited to play Director week 1. I'll have to message him again. Hopefully we can get together sometime this week and have lunch. I know, those of you who don't know, I live in Utah. Director lives in Utah as well too. So maybe we can grab lunch and catch up and, kind of go from there. So very cool. Very cool. So I'm excited.
Cool.
Is there a way you could show our actual teams and his actual
team?
Right
Yeah. Here you go. My team.
Yeah, because I'd like to see our weekly matchup. Oh, this is great. Okay, perfect.
Okay, yeah. So here's our actual team. Yeah. So we got. Or you want to show our draft itself, or you want to just
No. This is fine too. Yeah, this is great.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's
Okay, so this is our matchup.
Yeah. Let's do the matchup. Click that.
Okay, there you go. Click that.
There we go.
This is perfect. Here you go. So all right.
And he's got Trey Lance too. It's still interesting to see what's going to happen with Trey Lance. I'm kind of surprised.
Right.
I just don't think Trey Lance is going to be that great. I don't know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I mean, they got a good system out there in San Francisco. So
they do.
Yeah, I think. Because Jimmy G was not that fantastic. I've always felt like he did pretty well. Just okay, but they got good weapons over there at San Francisco. Deebo Samuel's like freaking stud. He's all over the dang field.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like our team a little better than their team. And he has a lot of San Francisco. He's got Ayuk and he's got Lance.
Yep.
Very interesting to see that. So I'm excited. Week 1, guys. Week 1. This is our week 1 against the Director. I'm very excited to see that.
Yeah,
hey, Jorge, how we do?
Hey, Jorge. So I think the one thing that about Trey Lance and getting Ayuk is that that might be double points, but it also might not be.
Correct.
So anytime that he's not throwing there to him, that's a bad idea. So
yeah. Also, well, you remember, God, you brought this up. Remember this season that I had Josh Allen and like basically the whole Bills. I had the whole Bills team on my offense, and I was just dominating everybody.
Right.
And then you beat me in the championship game because of our boy Kumara, right? He just smoked everybody.
Yep. Yeah. So he's got Alvin Kamara. I was actually, honestly, it's funny. I think he picked like right before me. And because
Kamara.
We were you and I were talking. It was like I wanted to get Kamara. I would have wanted him over Saquon Barkley, but I mean, just like Barkley, both of these guys have injury issues, and usually by the end of the season, they're actually struggling. So
well, and think about why they're having injury issues. Both Tennessee and New York Giants, they're run heavy offenses because their quarterbacks aren't that great, right? Well, I shouldn't say they're not that great. They're not Justin Herbert or Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, right? So, that's the difference. But it's nice to have Joe Burrow. I think Joe Burrow will have a great season.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy with our team. And again, guys, this is a 16-team.
Hey, wait!
league,
You can't say 16 man. We got some ladies up in this.
That's true.
That's right.
16-team league. That's right. We got a 16-team league.
That's right.
Oh, I love it.
Right.
All right, so that's good. I think this is awesome. So I think either way, we got a good kicker. Obviously kicker matters, but Zach Ertz is great, man. Arizona uses their tight ends quite a bit. I'm pretty stoked on it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised. I really.
I'm a little worried that we got Zach Ertz though. I mean, it's Kyler Murray's throwing to him though, so I'm like, yeah, we'll see. But a lot of ways too. I feel like always tight ends and kickers and defense are always like bonus points. So like,
Right.
I never really expect too much out of those positions. So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. But if you get 5 points out of that or a few points, that's good. And then Dallas defense is amazing, by the way. Last year Dallas I think had the 5th best defense in the league.
I think
right.
so.
So they did very, very well. So that's a great. In fact, when I saw that, I was like, wow, that's a great pickup.
Yeah,
so
it went. It was that was like one of my last picks. So,
it was.
Yeah. So
I mean, statistically, they were amazing. I mean, remember we did that whole breakdown like right at the end of the season that Dallas is one of the best teams across the board. I think the number one team was the Bills for sure. But
I think so. Yeah.
Anyways,
so on that note, like, I mean, honestly, the reason why I picked Dallas is that, like, I mean, it's the NFC East. It was like one of the least, like teams in all the NFL right now. Like that whole division was just so bad. I mean, say what you want, but Dallas probably is the best team there. Just because like they have like the dynasty, they have all the power in that division. I feel like and they're the playoff team. Eagles, Giants, they all struggle. So yeah, I was like, all right, if Dallas is available, that's a good pickup, I guess. Let's do it.
Yeah. Jorge, good question. Will Bandy make it through waivers? I think the answer is yes. I think I don't think the Chargers are going to let him go. Period. I just think no matter what, they're practice squad most likely is what I'm thinking. Worst case scenario. But just so Jorge, we went through that a little bit today earlier. There's 16 people now on the practice squad, 16 from 14 last year, and there's some injury type of folks that you can have out there as well too. So, yeah, I mean, he'll be on the team. He'll be there doing, obviously some work, and they don't want to let him go for sure. So, yeah, he'll be around.
Yeah. So, great. So that was the first question about that. So actually, do you want to get rolling on the intro and stuff, and just and then start getting into the actual 53 man?
Yeah. So guys, today what we want to do something a little bit different. We want to do something live. We want to put together our 53 man roster, but we want your advice on doing that as well too. Yeah. So because it's interesting. I mean, we've read a lot of articles and a lot of people. I mean, I think we could easily probably come up with 43 players, no problem. Okay. But what's the 53-man roster really going to look like is kind of our question. So we kind of want your help in determining that entire group of folks on our 53-man roster, which is going to be coming out. So we are going to be putting it together live. So we want to get your feedback on it as we go through. So Kyle will be running this as well. And give us some ideas on what you guys think and who will be on that 53-man roster. So pull up your own information, whatever you want to do, your own personal thoughts, and let's get into it. So Kyle, you want to start with offense or defense first? What are you thinking?
Let's go with offense first. No, defense first. How about that one? Yeah.
Defense first? Okay, that's fine with me.
Yes. So let me defense first here. And let me share my screen.
And I think we could definitely make some pretty easy predictions, guys, right? Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, not a problem there, right? So guys, put your thoughts in the chat as who you think will be here for sure. So safety, free safety, obviously defensive backs, cornerbacks for sure.
Yeah. So as it looks like we typically, of course, this art anatomy of the team shows more of a 4-3 type, or this would be 7 or 8 players if the base front was 3-4. Got it.
Yeah. So defensive lineman. So you want to start with defensive lineman first?
Yes, may as well. Let's start with the trenches, man. That's where it begins and ends there.
All butt and gut.
Butt and gut. Okay. No, thighs and buys, bro.
Thighs and buys. No, I like it. Well, So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. So interior defensive line: Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson, Morgan Fox. I would say those 3 for sure.
Yep.
Is that are you thinking that as well too?
Yes, I think so. Here it goes. Sebastian Joseph Day, Morgan Fox, Megan Fox,
looking
Megan
good.
Fox, yes. So who did you say? Johnson? Yeah. Austin Johnson.
Yeah, and SJD is the nose tackle. He's the nose.
Oh, is he? Okay, yeah, let me move that. Move him in there. So, all right, and then Johnson. Interesting.
Yeah, guys, and put your thoughts in there as well too. So you move him down to that one. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and again, last season, I think bottom line, it was really interesting when I was thinking about Sebastian Joseph Day in general. I think, dude, I just want him to stay healthy. Last season, he was killing it. Killing it. So if we could keep him healthy, oh my gosh, and I think Tito will definitely be another one there as well too. So how are we going to put our depth guys on there as well too?
I'll probably just put him down here on the bottom.
Okay.
Just like you throwing them down there. So that's what I was thinking. Tito Ogbonya.
Tito Ogbonnia, yes.
Ogbonya.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and who else do you think is going to make the squad as well? Throw your thoughts into the chat. I think Fehoko has definitely earned a spot.
Fehoko, yeah, I think he definitely has as well.
Yep.
Oop. I was trying to learn Pro Tools, or not Pro Tools, Photoshop here. Yeah.
Yep. Brendan Fehoko for sure.
Yeah. Where the heck is the Ogbonya asset there? Well, I don't have his little thing. His little portrait somewhere. It's missing.
You don't have it? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I'll figure it out later. Before it goes onto Instagram, I'll make sure that it's in there. So,
yeah, and it's interesting when we talk about Tillery. So I want to give a thought on that. I agree. Tillery will definitely be on the line as well too. I think Morgan Fox and Tillery will probably move back and forth. The one thing, this is so a couple of things to discuss too. This is when you're going to see a lot of movement across the league in general, right? Because there's a little time before the next game. And you're going to see a lot of things happen. I saw a article, I just sent it over to you, Kyle, that Waller from the Raiders may get traded to some NFC teams, right? So
no kidding.
Yeah, pretty interesting to see that. Now, whether it happens or not, who knows, right? But it's one of those things where you got to sit back and ask yourself this question. Okay.
Yeah.
Will he or will he not, be there? Look, I mean, trades happen, right? Injuries happen in preseason. And when those injuries happen, people get moved around, especially when they cut down and then they scoop up other people from other teams. So I think that'll be very interesting to see. So,
yeah.
Okay. So we got Tito, and then obviously Brendan Fehoko. Fehoko,
yeah.
All intents and purposes, I don't think his injury was too bad. I don't think he'll be a starter week 1, but he'll definitely be on the team for sure.
Yeah. So you said Tillery. Unfortunately, we're going to
Tillery. I would say for sure. Yeah, I think Tillery will definitely be here. Yep.
Okay. So,
it's kind of sad to me because I've never been a big fan of Tillery in general. I just think Tillery, specifically with our defense, is just it's not that great, right? He's again, the whole point is to jam up the line right in the middle there, right? You want to just keep those lanes, locked down. And the problem with Tillery is he just gets pushed around, right? That's why Tito, I think, is better, but he's young. So I think there'll definitely be some plays where he'll come in for sure. So, we'll see how it plays out. I mean, again, I still hold faith that we might trade him off maybe for a 6th round pick or something.
Maybe it'll be a late in the season trade off or something like that. I don't know. So,
and again, a big part of it's going to be also, injuries on these other teams as well.
Right.
Ian, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
What's up, Ian?
By the way, the Steelers look pretty good today, dude. Ian's on Facebook. Pretty cool.
Yeah, he's joining us from Facebook. That's great.
Facebook, huh? Good job, Ian. Good job.
Yeah.
So Ian's also on our family, fantasy football league.
Our personal fantasy football league. He's a huge Steelers fan.
Yeah.
And you said he beat
against him. We won't hold that against him.
So, as long as he keeps those towels away from my face, that's all good.
Actually, the cool thing was that so Ian was with us. He was there at the stadium at the Chargers.
Yeah, he was.
Last season. That was a lot of fun. So
that's right.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I think that about wraps up our front line people like the.
I think so. I think that looks pretty good for me. That was an amazing game. Absolutely game. Oh my gosh, that was like a heart attack the
It
entire
really was.
time. Oh my god, it was amazing
I
though.
think we kind of beat that one like a dead horse, and we talk about that game all the time.
I know,
It's
I know.
kind of frustrating, I'm sure, to the fans.
All right, so let's go to the edge rushers then. Why don't we go to
Edge,
edge
yeah.
rushers?
All right.
Because
Otherwise
I think
known
the
as outside line.
outside linebackers. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. So obviously, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, we know they're
Yep.
going to be our guys. And
1000%.
then I think Rumpf for sure.
Yeah, Rump for sure. He definitely earned that spot.
Yep, for some
Yeah.
depth.
Uh-huh.
But here's the interesting conversation too, though, right? How would we want to put Kyle Van Noy? Would we put him down as an edge rusher as well, or would we put him down as a linebacker?
See, that's the kind of interesting thing because I feel like Kyle Van Noy is very like currently he seems to have done a lot more in practice as middle linebacker than he has been at edge rusher. But I guarantee that they probably will swing him in and out of that position.
Correct.
So because he has all the talent for it as well. So I think for purposes of the roster, I think he will go down not as an edge, and so he'll stay as a linebacker, just a middle linebacker.
Middle linebacker, yeah, that makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it'll be interesting to see how we run our defense this next season, right? Obviously, like the Steelers run a 4-3 defense from what I can tell for the most part, but man, we keep talking about a 5-1-5 is what we might be running really to stop the pass and stop the run, right? That's whole Brandon Staley's scheme. So how many linebackers do we really want? But yes, I think definitely Kyle Van Noy will be there. But okay, so Jorge, I think that's a good point. Bosa, Mack, Rump, I think that's pretty much what we're going to go with.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are definitely in agreement to that one for sure.
Yeah, and I think and then obviously, well, let me just think. Who else in linebackers? So we go Kyle Van Noy. We got to go K9.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting. You know, I haven't seen a lot of information about K9 in there at all, about how he's doing with his injury and anything like that. So it's kind of funny. I was going back and forth with him, and I just want to see him have a good season.
Yeah, me too.
I know. Yeah, definitely Reader as well, too. So I would go. So linebackers, Kenneth Murray, Kyle Van Noy, Drew Tranquill.
The question is, do you think that Kenneth Murray is going to be essentially one of the starters for the linebackers, or do you think it would be like Troy Reader?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Even Drew Tranquill.
That's a great question. I think that'll be interesting to see. So my thought, and again, your thoughts down below, Jorge, anybody else who's on here as well, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's going to be KVN and Kenneth Murray. I'm sorry, not Kenneth Murray. Drew Tranquill. I think Drew Tranquill. But Drew's been a little banged up, so I think it'll be a game time decision. I think it'll be whoever the least banged up linebacker is, because I mean, dude,
right?
Kenneth Murray's just coming back from his surgery,
right?
Exactly correct, and I think he's going to be limited on snaps. And I think Drew Tranquill, he's had a groin injury, so he's struggling. Troy Reader's probably the healthiest one of all of them for sure.
Yeah. Right.
So that makes sense. But
I mean, there's reason why. I guess there's arguments to have more than 4, because currently we basically have 4 there.
Correct.
We may have a little bit more depth at this position than you might think, I guess, like even though
and when we talk about 53-man roster too, we're also talking about special teams. So
yeah, exactly. And I think that's a good point. A lot of linebackers do run special teams a lot. So
correct. Yeah. And so I think that's also, well, we're talking about defense now. We'll talk about offense a little bit later on. But so my other thought was Nick Niemann. Nick Niemann was badass in special teams last season. So I think Nick Niemann definitely should be on there.
Okay.
Now here's the question: do we want Amen Obingmia? I can never say his name correctly. Amen Obingmia. I think so, because I think Amen is a good choice as well too. I think he's done fairly well in special teams. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's done pretty well as well. I mean, there's also Cole Christensen. I think his name was right. He seemed like he did pretty well in the preseason, but I just don't know if he's going to get the start. I can tell. I could say probably Demon Lloyd probably won't either. It's kind of a toss up right now,
Yeah, I think what you'll see is I think it'll be Nick Neiman and Amen Obigmia for sure. I think those are the other two that make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah,
But
that
what do you
makes
guys
sense.
think? Ah Bong Bing Mia. Oh my gosh.
I think it's
Ah Bong Bing Mia.
I'm gonna pull up the actual pronunciation.
Yeah. Christian's not going to make it as well. I think again, he came from what was it, Army? Is that where he came from? But I think he could be a practice squad guy. I think he probably will. Yeah, I think he'll probably make the. Yeah.
He's from just so you know, he's from Lagos. That's why it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's Amen, yeah.
Amen. Yes, of course.
Ogbom Bemig Ogbom Bemiga. Ogbong Bemiga.
And no, Jorge, we're not smoking the devil's lettuce. Okay, I just want you to know that we're not smoking the devil's lettuce. We just can't read. Apparently, we just can't read.
We're just pretty bad. Yeah. Yes,
we're just pretty bad.
we're just really bad. And actually, we don't smoke it; we eat it. How about that?
There we go. That's right. That's so funny. That's so funny.
I think I'm gonna kind of organize this thing a little bit better here. So what do you think?
Maybe put a couple of those to the side. Maybe put one or two of the other guys to the other side here, because I like those other two, because I do think Neiman and Aman are going to be also. There we go. Yeah, let's just do that. Yeah, put them down at the bottom.
Neiman here. Yeah,
put them at the bottom. That's perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and again, guys, give us your thoughts on this, right? Who's going to do what, who's going to go where, depth wise across the board. It's interesting because again, this team has a lot of depth, right? And again, I'm excited to see how much. I mean, think about it this season, guys. Looking at this now, we might have 8 starters on defense that we didn't even have last season. That's crazy.
Right.
That whole line. The defensive line is completely different. So Joey Bosa is obviously one, and Derwin James is the other.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we only kept like 4 people. Well, no, I guess. Okay, so we kept Bosa, we kept Michael Davis, we kept Derwin James. We kept Asante Samuel.
Yep.
And then Nasir Adderley.
Yeah, and obviously only Gilman as well too,
and of course a couple of people, Drew Tranquil, Kenneth Murray, Chris Rumpf. There's a couple other people there, So, but for the most part, we basically wiped clean our defense. So
yeah, for sure,
it's just wild.
Yeah, but again, guys, I think it makes sense, right? So now again, this is where it's going to be interesting, right? So we've discussed a lot about our defensive backfield, right? And how it's going to be broken up and how it's going to look, right? So this makes sense to me right here. And I think this is where we want to get your opinion as well too on this, because Kyle and I have gone back and forth a little bit on this. Obviously, cornerback 1 is J.C. Jackson, right?
Yep. Let's go back there.
That's and then I would say Mike Davis, obviously.
Yeah, Mike Davis for sure. I really feel like Mike Davis is. I think he's. That's Asante Samuel. So but we think he's gonna be there too, though.
So J.C. Jackson, Mike Davis,
right there.
Asante Samuel, and I think Bryce Callahan makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Callahan. I actually put him down as a defensive back because he's he does that nickel back position there.
Correct. He's also going to be probably running the slot quite a bit as well too. I think he's very good at that.
Yeah, he's a slot defensive back. So.
Correct.
For sure. Where did Michael Davis go?
Yeah. Okay. So let's pause for just a second.
Yeah.
Would you say these are the 3 corners that are going to start? And now again, if J.C. Jackson is out week 1, that'll be interesting. I think he probably will come back week 1.
Right.
I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because I look at him and I see. I mean, it's a pretty non-invasive surgery, right? I mean, I think it's really just boiling down to healing, and I mean, they could probably put some numbing in the area as well too. So that makes sense. So
and the truth is too is that like I'm not even sure if Asante Samuel is going to be typically the starter here. Like I think maybe Michael Davis might play on that side. more than Asante Samuel. Typically, if say J.C. Jackson is out, I think Michael Davis is 100% going to be the guy going against Davante Adams.
Agreed. Yeah. Well, for week 1 especially. So what do you guys think? Right? Do you think? I mean, I think Mike Davis is going to go up against him 100%, but then you'll probably have a free safety up on top as well too, right? So, I think that makes perfect sense. Okay, that makes sense to me. Now, another person we want to talk about is Jasir Taylor.
Oh yeah, man, he was doing really well in the preseason. So I don't.
And then, but okay, so here's the question: do we want Jasir Taylor or Dean Leonard as the other one we would dress out for the 53-man roster? Because to me, I think both are good, and I just can't. My thought is Dean Leonard probably is a little bit ahead of Jasir Taylor, but I've heard some good things about Jasir Taylor as well too.
Yeah.
I
feel like there's a lot more press around Dean Leonard, to be honest. But that's also could just mean that he's just, because obviously he made some critical mistakes that first week.
Correct.
So that's just the issue though, so.
Well, but Jasir Taylor did pretty well in the slot. So he'd be a backup for someone like a Bryce Callahan or maybe Asante Samuel. And he's also a gunner on the punt coverage unit. So that makes sense as well too. I don't think Keemon Hall is going to make the team right out of the gate.
Yeah, because he did get injured that last one. It was concussion protocol, so he was out of the game for the rest of that one, though.
Yeah, so it probably won't be him. So I think Dean Leonard makes sense. So
I think Dean Leonard?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that makes sense. So Jorge is agreeing with this as well too. Yeah. So I'd say Dean Leonard and then Jasir. I'd put them out there as well too. Again, remember, guys, they're going to be running the gunners. They're going to be doing a lot of special teams as well too. Yeah. So, and there'll be some depth. And again, guys, we still don't really know the defense we're going to run, right? A lot of people keep talking about a 5-1-5. I really do think Brandon Staley is going to come out with something very different, right? And really making, Taylor over Leonard, though. That does make sense. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Jorge, for sure. I think Jaw's the right guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, what do you got here? Both that, baby. It doesn't matter, Samuel or Davis. It's awesome. We have solid depth at defensive back position. We'll carry 10, and we'll have 5 on the field most of the time. I agree with that because,
100%.
We're going to be running nickel packages a lot, and I think that's the kind of the whole thing. So it's going to be like 5-2 kind of type of situation,
5-1-5, 5-1-5.
5-1-5, you think? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
5-1-5.
Oh yeah, I guess that makes more sense. Yeah. So
no, and again, remember, guys, too, we are going to be running a lot of man defense, right? It is not going to be a lot of zone, in my opinion. I think. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yes and no. Like JT Jackson, if he's there week 1, he will man up on Davante Adams. He's going to be all over him like a cheap suit. Then it brings up, right? Or like Dad likes to say, Kyle, ugly on an ape.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah, ugly on an ape, I think is great too. All right, so all right, let's move to safeties, guys, right? So
safeties. Obviously, Derwin James, we just signed him to biggest contract out there, so there you go. Yep.
So it'll be Nas Adderley, JT Woods, and then Alohi Gilman as well too. I think those make sense to me as well. Guys, what do you think? Derwin James, Nas Adderley.
And so, Jorge just said that, Popper is really confident about JT Woods making the team. So
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Look, guys, there were so many people ripping on him and just saying he sucks. What thread was it? This is the pregame that we did for the Saints. Man, everyone was just ripping on JT Woods. And I'm like, look, the thing is, he has all the talent. He has the speed. Problem with him is he's not positioning himself correctly to make the play, right? So that's the part that I get a little bit nervous with him on is that, I think Dean Leonard's on the bubble there for sure.
Yeah, he's definitely on the bubble. Yeah,
he definitely is. But again, one thing, the only thing I will say, I'm going to throw this out there, is Brandon Staley has consistently talked about having a lot of depth in the cornerback positions because, again, we are a pass heavy The NFL is pass heavy, 100%. They just all pass.
Yeah, it's a pass heavy league now. Pass first league. Yeah.
Think about it. Wasn't there 14 wide receivers drafted in the first round last season?
Yeah.
14.
Absolutely.
Unheard of. And running backs, I don't even think the first running back was picked up until the early third round, right? So the running back value has just dropped exponentially. They don't care, right? It's about throwing the ball. So that's why these safeties and cornerbacks are so important. So again, Dean is definitely on the bubble as well too. All right. So how many people do we have out there right now, Kyle? Let's add that up.
Yeah, let's add this up here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 on defense alone.
Okay, 25. Okay, that's fine. All right. So that's fine. 25. All right. So now let's go with 25 on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, so that looks good, guys. So we're going to come back to this as well too. We also need to have special teams.
Yeah, give me what I got to set up on the office side. I realized I didn't do that one just yet, but we can just chat for a second here.
Okay, perfect. Yep. And you're right, Jorge. Mark Webb is a big question, especially with his injury as well too. I would rather him be our starter. I promise you, our staff would rather have Mark Webb be on the team over someone like a Dean Leonard or whatnot. But at the end of the day, his injuries, dude, he was injured last year. He's already injured this year. It just kind of stresses me out, man. It's like, dude, just frustrates me. I mean, dude, I'm drawing a blank now. Who was the cornerback that oh my God, it's gonna drive me up a wall. When it was oh my God. It was Tom Telesco. It was one of his first. He went to high school where we grew up, Kyle, in Fairfield. Oh my gosh.
He did? Oh, Barrett. Jason Barrett.
Jason Barrett.
Yeah.
Barrett. He's amazing. But remember, he could not stay healthy. That was his problem across the board.
So many injury issues for sure.
Yeah. So, and I was chatting with my buddy the other day. He's a defensive end. He was a quarterback all through high school. And he always, I agree. Mark Webb will definitely make the team for sure. Bolt up, baby. I agree 100%. A big part of making, and it's just staying healthy, guys, right? That's a big part of it, right? You look at what's happening here across the board. That's a big part of it, right? Is just, can you stay healthy? And, he recanted a story about this guy that he went to school with in Idaho. Yeah. And this guy was like all country, all state, blew his knee out his senior year. No school wanted him after that because it was such a bad injury. Like we're talking snapped it. Like it was bad, like bad. And so he tried to come back, but he just wasn't the same. He couldn't move. He didn't have the same speed. So again, my point is, guys, injuries stack up, and it sucks because, like a Jason Verrett was a lockdown corner if he could stay on the field, but he could never do it. Mark Webb has looked amazing, but man, he just has not been able to stay healthy. So that's kind of a frustrating situation. So yeah. All right. Well, while Kyle's getting this ready for you ready for the offense yet here, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm ready for the offense. Yeah. So.
All right. We'll pull it up. So I think the initial. Do we want to start with quarterbacks first? What do you guys think?
Quarterbacks is a really tough discussion.
Yeah, I think Easton Stick may get the start, guys. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Easton Stick's going to get the first go week 1 against the Raiders. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, of course, guys. Yeah. Justin Herbert. Herbo.
Big Herbo. Now, okay. Question down below. Are we going to run 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks week 1? 2 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks week 1? I guess that's the real question in my mind.
I personally think 2.
Yep.
I think 100% we got to just go 2 because as much I like Easton Stick, and the truth is I think we're gonna keep Easton Stick, but just not on the 53 man. So I think we're going 2 for the 53, but then we'll get Easton Stick for the practice side. So that's my personal opinion.
Interesting. So everyone keeps saying they want to carry
3. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what? Let's throw
them all in there then. Yeah.
Yeah, let's throw all 3 of them in there and we'll figure it out from there. So we make and guys, we're doing this with you guys. We want to get your opinion on this 100%. This is not like because we kept thinking about doing it on our own. And I was like, no, I'd rather, work this out with you guys. So let's put all 3 down there and then we'll figure out the 25 we want to go with, because there'll be 3 special teamers that we have to carry as well too. So,
right.
By the way, guys, I have to give you this rant. I'm so frustrated that Easton Stick did not win the quarterback 2 position. I don't think he did, at least. What do you guys think? Did Easton Stick do enough to win quarterback 2? I personally don't think he did. It'll be Chase Daniels as QB2. I think he looked much better in the second game, or excuse me, the final game. I think it was 10 for 11, almost 200 yards passing. So,
yeah,
dude, that's pretty great, man. And so, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should Easton Stick be the quarterback 2, or do you think it should still be Chase Daniels as it was last season? So, okay. So let's go to halfback then. Actually, you want to do? You want to go halfback, or what do you want to do? Or do you want to go the line now at this point, Kyle?
Yes, do halfback. It's fine. Yeah, just get in there. Yeah.
All right. So, so obviously, I mean, this, the easiest one ever would be Austin Ekeler. Okay,
yeah,
so
he's definitely getting the start. Yeah, yeah. Ain't no question about that one for show.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. It's a really good point, Bolta, baby. I agree 100%. Guys, you bring up a really good point, right? That Brandon Staley has developed a really great culture, and man, he has just developed such a great culture that I think, bottom line, he doesn't want to disturb that room. I think those 3 guys are just, they're friends, right? And I think they look at things together. I think they uplift each other. They see different things for Justin Herbert. You could specifically tell Chase Daniel does, coach up Herbert quite a bit. He's on the side there. Hey man, what about this? Watch that. So, okay.
Look at both that, baby. Yeah, no, I don't want to carry 3 quarterbacks, but Staley won't want to disturb the quarterback room. And I agree. And like I said, I think we will likely just have 2 quarterbacks. For the 53. Because we could use that other spot for other room, for more wide receivers or even more running backs.
Correct.
And so, in that regard, I don't think we're gonna see Easton Stick on the 53-man squad.
No, I don't think we will. But he can be there. He can be there as not suited up at this point, because that's what he did most of last season as well too. So
right.
But again, Chase. Look, I just don't know. Yeah, I think Chase would definitely not clear waivers. No, absolutely not.
No, definitely not. No, he needs to be there. He's kind of, like you said, he's kind of a coach for Justin Herbert. But I think for the purposes of the 53-man squad thing, we have to take Easton Stick off of the this graphic right now. Just for now, because it's the practice squad one will be separate. So
so we could think about that a little bit on there. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look at the halfbacks again.
The rest of those halfbacks, yeah.
So I'm thinking, I think Joshua Kelly is our running back 2 for sure.
Yeah. He definitely secured that in the preseason. He did such a good job. He's out there talking about his diet. He bulked up, and he's taken a lot of pages out of Austin Eckler's book. He's got himself lean and mean, and and he's performing out there, man. He's got jumps. He was like that jump. I want to do a little sound effect on that one. It sounded like a freaking Mario jump right there. He's just like
correct.
Yeah, he's just like bicycle kicking the whole time.
Yeah, exactly. So and that's a really good point, Bolta, baby. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I think they probably will put him on the 53-man roster, and then I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think that's an interesting thing. He's one of the guys that we have to sit back and think about too, but they want to definitely keep him for sure. So that'll be interesting. Okay, so we got Josh Kelly, and then obviously Spiller, I think, would be our other running back.
Spiller and then maybe
I think
Roundtree?
that's it.
What do you guys
think? What do you guys think? Are we just going to run 3 running backs? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I think we go Ekeler, Kelly, and then Spiller. And then we go with now. And then we have to have a conversation. What do you guys think? Do you guys think we run 3 running backs or 4 running backs? I think it's just going to be 3 personally.
Jorge thinks we're going to go 4. And because I don't know,
Roundtree, but Jorge, are you saying 4 is in 3 running backs and then 1 fullback? Or are you saying 4 total?
Probably totally different position though, So like, I mean, I think I don't know. I think we might see Roundtree still involved. I mean, he wasn't that good, and this is his 2nd year with us. So, but if he's going to be around, like he's not going to play that much, but he's there for a backup if someone goes down.
Yeah, and I was having a conversation with a friend of mine the other day about this too. We were talking about how, look, at the end of the day, we're splitting hairs on running back 2, running back 3, right? We're talking about, Austin Eckler is going to get 20 carries, right? He's going to get 20 carries. Right. He'll probably get 10 balls out of the backfield. He'll probably get 30 touches a game. And then we're talking maybe 5 carries from the other 2 in general, right? So, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. The other thing too, guys, remember, because Spiller's hurt, they can't put him on injured reserve as well too. So there's a ton of rules around that, guys, right? That, he might not be on the 53-man roster, but they'll have him as an injured reserve player. So there's ways you can protect players moving forward. Apparently, I read an article about Bill Belichick during the COVID year. Boy, man, he had all these players on injured reserve. I think it's like 6 or 7 injured reserve players you could have. So I promise you they're putting people on injured reserves and they're saving as many people as they can on the 53-man roster. But that's kind of a little bit of smoke and mirrors, right? So we're, it's a bit smoke and mirrors, right? Because injured reserve makes a big difference. Okay. Now, here's the real question, guys. Who is our fullback going to be? Put your thoughts down below, right? I kind of want to see what you guys think because, look, I still think it's going to be Xander Horvath. I think he's got more special teams play.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like 4 weeks. 4 weeks. Correct, Jorge. Yep.
Yeah. So, they're on reserve. They can't play for 4 weeks. But, yeah, I definitely believe that Horvath he has earned the position. But like you said, it's because he's a little bit more I guess quick with the special teams, and he was actually showing out a lot more. I mean, yes. And I don't think we're going to go 2 fullbacks at all. So, unfortunately, but that it doesn't mean that Neighbors is not going to be on the team. He might actually show up and actually be there on the practice squad. But like for the purposes of this graphic, we're not putting him on the board here,
Yeah. Yeah. I think Horvath, here's the thing about Horvath. Kyle, remember who I wanted us to draft for our running back?
Yeah. You wanted the boy out of BYU. Shoot, what's his name? Oh
my gosh, I'm drawing a blank all of a sudden too.
Tyler Algiers. Yeah,
Tyler Algier. But remember why I liked him. Do you remember exactly why I liked him? Because he was a converted linebacker moved to a running back. I want a bruiser that could come in because you think about what we have right now. He's really more of a wide receiver, a Deebo Samuel type. You could even argue that he's not really considered a running back, and he's a running back, obviously. But my point is, he's not just a he's definitely not the guy that is he can't take all the carries. That's the problem with him is he's smaller. He can't take all the carries. And ask yourself this question, right? If you're in a clear passing situation and they're coming at hot at you, who would you rather have in the backfield, Xander Horvath or Austin Eckler to take that hit from a defensive end? Xander Horvath. 100%. He's a freaking beast. He's 250. Yeah. He's huge.
He's a big old boy. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So he can meet that linebacker. And I think he's better at that than Gabe Neighbors, right? So I think that's another reason why I think a lot of people like Horvath in this position. So anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on that? Al Davis made IR art. Hell, wasn't he on the IR the entire time? Oh my God, he looked like hell these last few years, boy. Whew.
Jorge definitely is saying Zaddy Horvath. Yeah,
I think so. I think Horvath made it, which is kind of sad. I like Gabe Neighbors, but I don't think Gabe Neighbors has a lot of additional value. I think that's part of the problem with Gabe Neighbors, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Okay, so let's go to the least exciting positions, and then we'll wrap up with wide receivers because that's more interesting. Why don't we go with the line at this point?
Yeah.
So let's go with the actual starting line. I think because I keep thinking a lot about this as well too. So obviously we're going to have Rashawn Slater, right tackle.
Yep.
Matt Filer, Corey Linsley is our center, Zion Johnson. And here we go. We've already talked about this quite a bit. Trey Pipkins is probably going to be the other guy. I think he'll be our right tackle as well. By the way, guys, I want to do a breakdown video of this. It's funny. I keep talking to Kyle about this. I want to do like video breakdowns, like why Zion Johnson's so good.
Yeah.
Why, but I can't seem to make it work. So we're going to work through this a little bit and try and find a program where I can do this. But I think this makes sense. Guys, what do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think this is our starting line at this point?
Actually,
and do you think Storm should start over Pipkins? What do you guys think?
Actually, I think I found out a program that actually you should be able to use, and it should actually do really well. So,
oh, really good. Okay.
You just got to be able to install it on your laptop, though. So, I know you got that work computer, so it's like,
yeah, that's interesting. We'll figure it out.
That's the only downside on it. Yeah. So,
okay.
Okay. So there's our line: Slater, Filer, Lindsey, Johnson, and Pipkins.
So, guys, what do you think? Pipkins or Norton? Pipkins or Norton? Because I think everyone else is pretty much a lock. What do you guys think? I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. And it's funny because there we go. Let's see. Jorge.
Slater, Filer, Lindsey Johnson, Norton, Hymas, Clapp, Salyer. Oh, yeah, but dude, Salyer for sure, dude.
See, the cool thing about Hymas and Salyer, the thing about Salyer, man, but guys, just so you know, the strongest guy in the draft was guess who? Zion Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Number 2 strongest guy in the draft was guess who? Jamari Salyer.
Yes, sir. Like I said, he likes thighs and buys.
Thighs and buys, baby.
It ain't about butt and gut anymore, man. It's all about thighs and buys.
Yeah, I love it. Well, let's talk about Trey Pipkins for just a second, right? Because I remember last season, guys. What game was it? Do you remember when Rashawn Slater went down and he was out for like a couple of games, and he came in for Rashawn Slater, right, on the left side, and played really well. I don't even think he gave up a sack that entire season. Then Storm went down because of COVID. I think it was 2 weeks later, and then Pipkins was moved over to the right side and did very well.
Yeah.
And I don't think gave up a single sack either. And so he played right tackle, and then left tackle, and then right tackle, and he did fine. So, and everything I'm reading is saying that Pipkins is even better now. Now, also, I bring up one other caveat too. When I look at this, I ask myself this question: is Zion? Does he like playing with Pipkins over Storm Norton? I'm getting the impression that I think Pipkins and Zion Johnson play better together than Storm Norton. I think that might be also the deciding factor, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Maybe put your thoughts down below from what you've heard as well too. But I think that makes a lot of sense. So Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, Corey Linsley, Zion Johnson, Trey Pipkins, Storm Norton, and Jamari Salyer. Yeah, the one that's on the bubble there too, you did say Hymas and Clapp. Let's table those two. I think those make sense, but I'm thinking we've got to decide wide receivers too, guys, because that's an interesting point.
That's a huge
25 on the offense as well.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like though, there it is. I was trying to find where I put Salyer because at the time he wasn't. He wasn't actually like, what the hell is this? Where did this block come from?
He said, what's this daggum thing?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see Pipkins. I think he's finally deserved it. I think he's doing well, guys. I watched some video.
So you don't know about Hymas then? So let me take Hymas off this board here then.
Yeah. So I think let's table that for a second. So guys, this is kind of why we also wanted to do this too, because it makes sense to me to ask you guys who we want to have. Do we want to carry more wide receivers, or do we want to carry more linemen? Now, I will say this. I think for sure we're going to have 7. So we'll have Storm Norton and Jamari Salyer for sure. And then I think moving forward, Will Clapp makes sense. But here's the thing. Will Clapp, to me, I think didn't look that great to some degree. Yeah. And you're right, Bolto, baby. They should carry 9 offensive linemen. I kind of wonder. I'm almost thinking more like 8. I don't know though. I mean, it's going to be tough.
I mean, I would think 8 would be better because then like you can have someone swinging, for the tackles. So that'd be Storm Norton left and right.
Correct.
But then
Correct.
Salyer can also swing for guards left and right.
Yeah. So,
and
so
then
the question,
Will Clapp can swing also for guards, and center. So
oh, that's a good point. He can. I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Will Clapp. Yeah. So that makes sense. Okay. So my thought would be Storm Norton, Jamari, and then Will Clapp.
Yeah.
Or Hymas.
Or Hymas, yeah. So, so let's see if we can. There you go.
Man,
that would bring us to 9 linemen though. So,
okay. Well, let's keep going.
I'm gonna put Hymas to the side here first to see.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that Bolta baby. Yeah, they're starting right tackle. Who is the starting right tackle for them? I'm drawing a blank on his name. Is that Leatherwood?
Let me see. Let me pull up the
yeah. I remember seeing something about that earlier today. Who was it?
I'm pulling it up on the PFF right now here.
I can't remember what his name. Oh yeah. Lose Brandon Parker. That's right. Yeah, Brandon Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I do not think the Raiders are going to have a good offensive line, man. I think they're just going to get, dude, that guy Leatherwood sucked last year. He was terrible, dude.
They didn't do a whole lot.
No, he was terrible. And their defense does not look good to me, man. I think if we can pressure Guyliner, we'll be in fine shape. I'm not stressing out about that at all, dude.
So he said they're right tackle, he said, right? Right now they got in there this guy, Jermaine El Umanor. They picked up somebody. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah. They must have. Yeah. So Brandon Parker went down.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Leatherwood is horrible, dude.
Yeah.
Leatherwood is horrible. I couldn't even believe how bad he played last season. I mean, everyone's expecting him to be great. He was just like awful, man. Oh my God. Terrible. But anyways, that's great. By the way, we are working on getting somebody to come on who's a Raiders fan week 1 to discuss Chargers Raiders week 1 game too. So we are going to be trying to work through that. It's a little difficult. It's hard working through people's schedules, right? Our schedule, their schedule, so on and so forth. So, okay.
Now,
so let's kind of table that. Go ahead.
To answer Jorge's question here, it looks like they got a new center, Andre James. He's about like a 4-year veteran now. So it's gonna uncertainty there to how he's gonna do. It looks like he's not been that good. His 2020, he was a score of 60 on PFF, and 2021 he was a 64.8. So that's not great.
Yep.
Yeah, but I've noticed though a lot of like players, they don't really have really big grades at that position, except for Corey Linsley.
Corey Linsley for sure.
Just dusting our shoulders there a little bit,
Dude, I'll tell you right now, guys. Like that line is awesome. I'm excited to see that line, guys. You watch film on Zion Johnson. That dude moves bodies.
Yeah, bro. Dude. Yep.
He is ridiculous. You watch what he does. He's so low, and he locks people up and just cranks them. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see him. And the funny thing too is I noticed on screenplays there, because we didn't throw too many screenplays, but he did a good job of getting out. Trey Pipkins and Zion were pretty good getting out. I noticed they started throwing more to the right side because I think I want to see how they do in the screen game. They got out there well, and they moved good. I think that's another reason why I think Pipkins is going to start over Storm Norton as well, because he's a little bit more mobile. Storm is a bit lanky and tall, and he just kind of can't move and he can't recover very well. So I do think Pipkins is better. So knock on wood, he stays healthy.
Right.
Okay. So let's go to you want to go to tight end next, Kyle?
Yeah, let's do tight ends. Yeah.
Okay. I think we're going to go through tight ends.
All right. Yeah.
What do you guys think? I'm thinking
I definitely think 3 tight ends for sure. Yeah.
Okay. So Everett's our starter.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have Parham in there as well too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, and he's going to be fine by the time week 1,
Well, and I was kind of surprised we didn't see Everett play in the final game. I was a little bit shocked on that. I would have thought,
it's just Brandon Staley. I wish that he did, though. I mean,
Me too.
It would have been good for him to do it, just to kind of get used to. Like I felt like it would have been good for all the team to have at least one drive.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
why not? But then again, Herb was high on that a lot, where he was like, "Nah, man, don't give any other team any other tape." So and just like the element of surprise for week 1 against the Raiders is going to be clutch. Because I think they had started their some of their starters over at the Raiders, so we got some tape on them.
Yeah, and I it makes sense. And again, guys, okay. So again, one of the thought here is we are now really going to be. This Tuesday is we're going to see our actual team, and then that actual team is going to be ready week 1, right? And I think they're going to ramp everything up. It's going to be everything is ramped up, hitting harder, taking people to the ground, getting them ready for week 1 versus the Raiders, right? So I think it'll be really interesting. So again, I think Gerald Everett, Daniel Parham, and Trey McKitty for sure.
Trey McKitty,
I'm thinking we're going to carry 3 tight ends. But again, I think it'll also boil down to Daniel Parham on where he sits with his injury. Because I know I think he's probably going to be okay week 1, but that'll be interesting to see. So yeah, I think that's probably what makes sense there too. So okay. And you got how many people we got here? Okay, perfect. So how many people we got so far, guys? Let's count this up.
Yeah, let's count this up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, we still got some room.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
So now let's go wide receivers.
Yeah.
I think it'll be really interesting to see how many wide receivers we go with as well too. I don't think there's a whole lot we have to really think too deeply on, right?
Don't think too much on this one.
I mean, but I can think of 5
Williams,
right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Williams, Keenan
Allen
for sure.
Palmer, and DeAndre Carter, which is great too, just because DeAndre Carter obviously is 5 wide receivers makes sense to me as well too. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But here's the question, guys, right? Do we go 6 wide receivers with Michael Bandy? Right? That's another thing to think about, guys.
Yeah.
See, and Jorge, that makes perfect sense to me, right? I think those are the easy ones to choose.
Yeah.
But
so
again,
Bandy, that's 5 right there.
Yep. And but do we go 6 and then only suit up 2 quarterbacks, right? I think we probably, so.
Well, here's the thing too, though. I mean, because if you want to talk special teams, they had Joe Reed a lot for being a punt returner, kick returner.
Yep.
At least in last year a little bit, and also here in the preseason. But I don't know, man. Michael Bandy he actually showed up,
Yeah. So okay, guys, what's your thoughts? Do we keep Bandy or Joe Reed? I think that's an easy conversation because we've had Joe Reed on the team for this is his 3rd year.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done great, hasn't had a breakout year. But does Bandy get the 6th wide receiver spot, right? Because I think he's a dual threat. And I think the interesting thing about that would be he is such a different type of wide receiver compared to like a Jalen Guyton or a DeAndre Carter or a Josh Palmer, right? So I think I kind of see Palmer as another version of Mike Williams. I see DeAndre Carter and Jalen Guyton as kind of different versions of Keenan Allen. And then I see Bandy as like a Wes Welker type. Yeah, exactly. Great point, Bolta, baby. If no Roundtree, maybe we keep Bandy on the 53 minutes. See, this is my point, right? There's a lot of these like little intricacies that we have to kind of decide. I think we have it pretty much figured out, but at the end of the day, I think these are some of the ones that we were kind of thinking a lot about, right? And I think also we'll see how the injury is going for Parham. I think some of the injury discussions are going to be interesting too. So, okay,
yeah. And actually, Jorge did ask a question. Briefly about the guards for the Raiders. And that always comes into consideration at some point here too. So their guards are very young too. John Simpson apparently looks like he's a 3rd year guy on the left. And then there's Lester Cotton Sr., he's a third-year guy as well, and they don't look like they're that impressive, at least on paper with all their stuff. So, I mean, they're in a bad place when it comes to their offensive line. So, like, I mean, they're gonna have like way less than 3 seconds to make a choice. So,
yep, correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and again, he averages around 3 seconds is how long he holds the ball, which I think in the NFL is way too long at this point, right? So,
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, what do we have now? Let's count these up real quick.
I counted 23. So,
okay,
but right now we have 5 wide receivers. I think we should keep Bandy. I think he should stay on the team.
I'm going to agree with you on that too.
Yeah.
So, guys, so again, what are your thoughts? I don't think we'll keep Joe Reed. I don't think we'll keep Joe Reed. I think Bandy makes sense. Because Bandy has 2 different. Man, Trayvon Bradford looked pretty good. Jason Moore looked really good too. I really like Jason Moore and Trayvon Bradford. They look pretty good as well.
I know it's such a tough decision.
Well, but I like Bandy, guys. What do you guys think? Bandy is our 6th wide receiver. Look, again, remember, punt returns, a switch up as a wide receiver. I just can see some additional value to have him out there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Joe Reed is no longer going to be on the,
on the 53 for sure.
I don't think I just think, I don't know. Yeah. I don't see him being there. Okay. So is that 24, Kyle?
Yeah. I think we got 24 here now. So 1, 2, 3.
Everyone,
4,
give
5,
us one
6,
other
7,
person
8,
we should
9,
put
10,
on this list
11,
for the
12,
offensive side of the ball.
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Actually, wait, is that 25? Did I miscount? Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Yep, that's 25.
Okay.
So what we have is our boy Bandy making it. Man, I don't know, man. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's
going to be real. It's going to be really interesting, guys. Guys, this is what I'm excited about, right? Look,
yeah,
this has been the most exciting offseason for me ever. Just
absolutely.
because we've got. All right, I got to keep this on because it's getting dark here at my house, and this is the one screen that's actually bright, so it's puts a little bit of light on my face. Yeah, right. I think it's getting dark. I mean, I'm on my other thing here. Okay, so we're at 50 now, guys. And then now we need to do our special teams. It's pretty simple, guys. I think,
that was pretty easy.
I think this is pretty easy. So maybe I don't know if you want to put it somewhere else. I don't know how.
I got one set up for that one too. So let me.
Just you do? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, and by the way, guys, when we talk about our special teams, I actually really think we're in good shape, man. I love what I've seen so far. Dustin Hopkins looks good. J.K. Scott looks amazing, and Josh Harris looks amazing too. So I'm pretty excited. Man, I'm excited. Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I think it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out with Hopkins this next season. But man, J.K. Scott is such a weapon, man. 5-second hang time on average. Yeah, I don't know that we want to break down the whole line.
No, we don't. I just put them in there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's all there. But really, it's just going to be the kicker. Shoot, I don't have the long snapper thing in there. That's all right. I'll put it in there. So
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. So I think the other 3 rounding out. So we got 50, we got 25, 25. And then the other 3 would be Dustin Hopkins is our kicker.
Yeah.
J.K. Scott is our punter, and our long snapper is Josh Harris.
Yeah.
Those make sense to me. I mean, that's a lock. And guys, like, we're lucky to have J.K. Scott, man. I've been very impressed with him. I think bottom line, he is going to be a real weapon for us. Yeah.
Yeah,
when
I think we are.
Special teams, at least we're not the Bills, yeah.
Right. And where's the punter in this thing here?
All right, guys. So we have 25-25, and then our special teams that rounds out the 53-man roster. But I guess, man, Bandy's the guy. I mean, this it's funny when I was thinking through the 53-man roster the other day, I was thinking through that, and I had Bandy on the squad as well. I think he's done enough to prove that he earned a spot, right? And especially since he's a rookie coming in with this deep a team, he's showing some serious moxie, man. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
Yep, exactly.
But we'll definitely see. So, and we could fill these ones out as well too, right? So we can put
so I mean, I put these other spots in there too, just because I was like putting in little formations and stuff. So, but I mean, obviously, you have the gunners to go down the field on the kick returns, and you have the jammers to kind of block them for the kicks on the other side, and and those guys could be, I mean, the gunners could be wide receivers. Probably defensive backs more than likely.
The gunners typically like Jasir Taylor's pretty much been the one gunner that they really like. And Dean Leonard has been okay.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But no, this is great. I mean, I think this is a good start, right? So this is what I think makes a lot of sense. Are you going to post? By the way, guys, we're on all the medias, right? We're on the grams, we're on the the books, the Facebooks, we're on all the above, right? So, definitely follow us on that stuff because we post different types of material all over the place, right? Instagram definitely wants different things than like, YouTube likes long formats like this, right? Instagram does not want that too. So, but I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, Instagram wants reels. YouTube we could do shorts on it as well, but then it just gets kind of messy with all of our long form content. I feel like so.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I mean, we do have TikTok. I haven't really posted much on that one too. And I do post on Twitter a lot of times, But truth is, and then Instagram, I'm gonna post these things there too, so people can see it, and it'll have the list of everything. But I probably won't post the special teams one because it's just it's just whatever,
There's 3 players there, right?
There's 3 players. There's not any there's So
and the line is going to consist of linemen and then also tight ends and a few other folks as well too. So obviously it'll be different. But guys, I'm excited, right? I think this makes sense to me. I hope Bandy makes the team. I really hope he doesn't. We don't lose Bandy. I think he's definitely one of those guys that we need to have on the squad moving forward. I mean, he's got that much talent enough that we don't want to let him go. No, but this is good, man. I'm really glad you guys helped us out, getting this set up and filling this out together. So we will post this and we will definitely have more information on this moving forward. Right. So definitely, like I said, guys, this is an exciting time, man. I mean, I couldn't be more excited for the season, guys. I'm just so pumped to see what's going to happen. We're going to have a lot more short form formats coming out on different videos and such, Like I said, I wanted to start doing some film studies, some film breakdowns. Like Zion Johnson's a person I wanted to do a lot of breakdowns, just the way he blocks people, the way he's moving bodies. I want to show that, and kind of talk more about that as well. So let me know, in the comments below if you want to see that, or that's not a whole lot of interest as well too. But either way, I think that's about it, right, guys? So Kyle, any other thoughts before we wrap up at this point? Any announcements, by the way? Any announcements coming up? Anything?
Well, I mean, just Thunder Alley, dude. Stoked on Thunder Alley coming back with the with the week 1 against the Raiders. That's going to be really fun. Obviously, you guys know that we're doing the Fantasy Football League with some of the other channels and stuff, and that'll be really, really. It's a really good thing. We're going to be talking about it a lot. We'll try to actually get some of the actual opponents into the into our stream with us, so that way we can talk smack to them too, especially if they got Raiders players and stuff like that on their team, So and especially if they play anyone from the Raiders on week 1, they are going to get so much heat. Yeah, I don't even care, man. I actually
you sit them all. Forget.
But funny enough, that's always kind of a general rule of mine is that I don't play teams against the Chargers. I don't usually like to play a player if they're playing against my team. I feel like it's just bad juju.
Yeah.
So,
No, I hear you.
and I just hate it.
Well, week 1 is going to be exciting. Yeah, we absolutely have to win week 1. We need to give the Raiders some payback, man. And it's weird because I don't know, man. I'm still not sold on Josh McDaniels. I think I don't even know how I really feel about him in general. I think he's been okay, not great. Right. He had a horrible time.
Yeah.
Horrible time when he was in Denver, right? It was terrible. So, you got to wonder how it's going to play out with him again here. But no, I mean, I'm excited, right? This is good. So obviously we're going to keep giving you guys updated information once the roster is released, yada, yada. Any information that comes out, guys, I mean, we're going to try and do daily content on YouTube, even if it's a short video, something, right? This is when we put a lot more emphasis and time into it. So,
yeah. We'll try to keep it consistent. Try to talk to you guys a lot and make sure that you guys are just staying in the loop with us.
Yep, exactly. And if you have anything you want us to discuss, put it in the comments down below, right? Hey, how about this? Do a video on that. Do a video on this. I'm fine with that. So, whatever you guys request, we can do that as well too. Or if you have questions, throw some questions down there. We can also try to answer them a little bit later on as well too. So
yes, sir.
All righty, guys. Well, I know we're about a little over an hour and a half here. Well, right around an hour and a half at this point. But as always, guys, we're the Bolt Bros. Andrew and Kyle.
Right. That's right. And James is MIA. He's still out in Europe on a little bit of a tour. But yeah, so we're just having a good time out here for right now. Just just Andrew and me. We're just holding down the fort while he's away.
Absolutely. And he's excited too. He keeps talking to us about things he's reading, and he's definitely keeping up on the material and in the course of study, which is the Chargers, right? So that's exciting, guys. So awesome. Right. All right. Well, thank you for helping us out today. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for helping us with this 53-man roster. I think your input was definitely awesome, so I really appreciate it. But as always, we're the Bolt Bros. Go Chargers, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
All right, Bolt Bros.
Let's get out of here.